Downton Abbey is a place that holds stories of love, power, and destiny told through overflowing emotions. But behind the glamorous spotlight, many familiar actors had to endure painful tragedies. Who were they? How were their lives and careers cut short? Tearful secrets await your discovery. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in. Nicky Henson as Charles Grigg. Nicholas Victor. Leslie Henson was born on May 12, 1945 in London. He joined Downton Abbey in 2010 when he was 65 years old, playing Charles Grigg, a washed-up stage actor with a complicated past involving butler Carson. Though he only appeared in a few episodes, he left a lasting impression with his bitter gaze and the demeanor of a man who had seen it all. The role of Grigg was a reflection of Henson's own life. Nicky Henson passed away on December 15, 2019 at the age of 74 after a grueling 19-year battle with cancer. He was diagnosed in 2000 and underwent numerous surgeries and chemotherapy sessions, yet he continued acting on screen and stage until the end of his life. Before he died, he once joked, "Even though I played hundreds of roles, my tombstone will probably say he was in Fawlty Towers." His net worth was estimated to be around $2 million, mostly earned from decades of work in television, theater, and film. Henson's personal life was also marked by ups and downs. He was married to actress Una Stubbs and had 2 sons, but the marriage ended after he had an affair with actress Susan Hampshire in 1974. He later married ballet dancer Marguerite Porter and had another son with her. Besides playing Grigg, he was also known for his roles in The Green Man, 1990, and the film Syriana, 2005. But no spotlight could erase the long years of illness. He turned even minor roles into unique imprints and transformed his battle with cancer into a source of inspiration. For many viewers, Nicky Henson remains a vivid example of an artist who refused to be forgotten, even if he appeared in only a single scene. Maggie Smith as Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham. Maggie Smith was born on December 28, 1934 in Ilford, Essex, England. In 2010, when she was 75 years old, she took on the role of Violet Crawley, the Dowager Countess of Grantham in Downton Abbey, a character who was sharp, biting, yet irresistibly charming, keeping viewers glued to the screen. This role earned her 3 Emmy Awards and established her as an indomitable lady in the hearts of audiences around the world. But that light dimmed on September 27, 2024, when Maggie Smith passed away in London at the age of 89. Her passing deeply moved the arts community, with tributes from King Charles III to fellow actors like Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Helen Mirren, all remembering her as a national treasure. Her funeral was held privately at Mortlake Crematorium. At the time, her net worth was estimated to be around $20 million, a result of dozens of iconic film roles, endorsements for the brand Lowa, and glorious years at the National Theatre. Dame Maggie Smith's life was not only filled with medals and applause. In 2008, while filming Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Though she was portraying Professor McGonagall on set, she silently endured chemotherapy, weight loss, and physical exhaustion. She once said, "I didn't feel brave at all. I just tried not to collapse." Earlier, her first marriage to actor Robert Stevens ended in 1975, leaving her to raise 2 young children. The death of her second husband, playwright Beverly Cross, in 1998 plunged her into loneliness. Though she played powerful women like Violet Crawley and McGonagall, in real life she admitted to being afraid of living alone. Her life was a symphony of both brilliance and shadows, but Maggie Smith chose to walk in silence, elegant, graceful, and proud, just like the character Violet Crawley whom she once portrayed. Tim Pigott-Smith as Sir Philip Tapsell. Tim Pigott-Smith was born on May 13, 1946, in Rugby, Warwickshire, England. When he was 67 years old, he appeared in the series Downton Abbey as Sir Philip Tapsell, a renowned obstetrician invited to assist Lady Sybil during childbirth in Season 3. With a cold, confident, and slightly arrogant demeanor, Sir Philip embodied the archetypal upper-class doctor, and his controversial decisions led to one of the most heartbreaking tragedies in the series: the death of Sybil Crawley. Although his screen time was brief, the role highlighted Tim's remarkable ability to make a strong impression in a short span. Tim Pigott-Smith died suddenly on April 7, 2017, just over a month before his 71st birthday. The cause was a heart attack while he was preparing to perform Death of a Salesman at the Minerva Theatre in Chichester. His passing shocked the artistic community as he was at the peak of his professional maturity. He had been appointed OBE by the Queen in 2017, but passed away before he could formally receive the honor. At the time, Tim Pigott-Smith's net worth was estimated at around £1.5 million, largely earned from an acting career that spanned nearly 50 tireless years. Tim's life was closely tied to Shakespearean theater, high-quality television, and emotionally stirring roles. He gained wide acclaim for playing Ronald Merrick in The Jewel in the Crown, 1984, a performance that earned him a BAFTA and catapulted him into the top tier of British actors. Tim was married to actress Pamela Miles, and they had one son together. However, he once spoke about the pressures of aging and the feeling of being forgotten in the modern entertainment world. Being cast in Downton Abbey became one of the key opportunities that brought him back into the international spotlight, helping a new generation discover a talent who had long been devoted to the craft. His death was a great loss to the arts, but the legacy he left behind continues to shine, both on screen and on the theatrical stage. James Greene as Sir Mark Styles. James Greene was born on May 19, 1931, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. When he was 84 years old, he appeared in the 2015 season of Downton Abbey as Sir Mark Styles, a wealthy middle-class gentleman who briefly hired Thomas Barrow as a butler. Though he only appeared in a single episode, his role left a mark, particularly in the scene where Sir Mark declined to keep Thomas on, citing him as too cold and unfriendly. This moment created an emotional turning point for the character of Barrow. James Greene passed away on January 5, 2021, at the age of 89, after a brief illness in England. Standing 6 feet tall with a deep, warm voice and classic presence, Greene was one of the golden faces of British television. His net worth was estimated at around $1.5 million, mostly accumulated from decades of work across theater, television, and film. Though not a globally famous star, James Greene was a quiet gem of British artistry. He appeared in acclaimed productions such as Doctor Who, Johnny English, and the 2009 version of Sherlock Holmes. With no scandals and no controversy, Greene lived a private life, devoted fully to his craft, maintaining the dignity of a true artist until the end. In his final years, he continued taking roles, as if clinging to the stage, as though performing meant he was still alive. And then, just like his character Sir Mark Styles, he exited the stage of life in silence, full of grace. Ronald Pickup as Sir Michael Reresby. Ronald Pickup was born on June 7, 1940, in Chester, England. When he was 73 years old, he joined the series Downton Abbey as Sir Michael Reresby, a senior aristocrat who appeared in the special episode The London Season in 2013. With a calm demeanor, seasoned gaze, and aristocratic voice, Ronald portrayed one of the royal elite guests at a lavish London party, helping to create the glittering yet strictly regulated atmosphere of post-Edwardian British nobility. Ronald Pickup passed away on February 24, 2021, at the age of 80, after a long struggle with illness. He died in the embrace of his family in London. He left behind a prolific career and was reported to have a modest net worth of around £500,000, mostly accumulated through over 50 years of work in television, film, and theater. Ronald's life was a testament to resilience and depth in the arts. He played the Pope in The Mission, 1986, and was especially beloved for his role as Norman Cousins in The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, 2011, an elderly man seeking a new life in India. Though he wasn't a household name, he was highly respected by industry peers as a man of the stage, an artist equally devoted to supporting roles as he was to leads. In his final years, he continued working, appearing in the series The Crown, 2016, as Headmaster Jeffrey Fisher. He once said, "If I'm not acting, I'm not living." And true to his word, Ronald Pickup lived fully through his passion, then quietly departed, like the final gentleman of a bygone era. Christopher Rozycki as Count Nikolai Rostov. Christopher Rozycki was born on October 15, 1943, in the small town of Rozycki, Poland. In the 5th season of the acclaimed series Downton Abbey, Christopher appeared in 2014 when he was 71 years old, playing Count Nikolai Rostov, a Russian aristocrat exiled after the Bolshevik Revolution. Though it was a minor role, he left a strong impression with his dignified presence, old-world nobility, and the deep sadness of a man once part of the upper class now living in exile. Tragically, just a few months after Downton Abbey aired, Christopher Rozycki passed away suddenly on April 10, 2015, in Bath, Somerset, England, due to a severe head injury caused by a fall at home. His death at the age of 71 shocked both his family and the arts community, as he had been in good health, actively working, and had no serious medical history. He is survived by his second wife, actress Joanne Froggatt, whom he married in 1991, as well as their 4 children and 1 child from his first marriage to Maria Ficines. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated to be around $1 million, befitting an experienced actor who never chased after flashy fame. Though he is gone, the most memorable role of Rozycki's career remains his portrayal of a Polish-Russian fisherman in the classic film Local Hero, 1983, a light-hearted satirical tale about the clash between tradition and modernity. His character's humor, warmth, and wisdom were key reasons the film became a cult classic in both the UK and the US. He also drew attention for his role in Truly Madly Deeply, 1990, a romantic supernatural story that received BAFTA nominations, where he delivered a touching supporting performance. His unexpected death was a quiet yet profound loss, marking the passing of a talented artist who dedicated his life to the stage lights without ever needing the noise. Michelle Dockery as Lady Mary Crawley. Michelle Dockery was born on December 15, 1981, in London, England. When she took on the role of Lady Mary Crawley in Downton Abbey, she was just 29 years old, stepping gracefully into the role of the rightful heir to the Crawley estate. Michelle perfectly embodied the image of an Edwardian woman, torn between the constraints of tradition and a desire to live true to her emotions. This role transformed her into a global star, earning her Emmy and Golden Globe nominations and establishing her as a feminist icon of British television in the 2010s. As of 2025, Michelle Dockery is 43 years old and continues her artistic career. After Downton Abbey, she starred in various series such as Good Behavior and Anatomy of a Scandal, while also branching into film with roles in The Gentleman, 2019, and Defending Jacob, 2020. Despite a steady career, her personal life was once struck by a cruel tragedy. Her fiancé, John Dineen, an Irish finance expert, passed away in 2015 from cancer at the age of 34, just a year after their engagement. Michelle once described him as the love of my life, and painfully admitted she became a widow before becoming a wife. That tragedy weighed heavily on her for years. She turned down new relationships and immersed herself in work to escape the pain. In interviews, Michelle remained reserved, yet her eyes revealed everything: profound sorrow and the maturity born from loss. These real emotions seeped into her portrayal of Lady Mary in the final episodes of Downton Abbey, where her character also lost her husband in World War I. The grief she experienced in real life helped Michelle reach deep psychological complexity in the character with haunting brilliance. It wasn't until 2022 that Michelle found happiness again. She married Jasper Waller-Bridge, the brother of renowned screenwriter Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Fleabag. The wedding was simple and warm, like a gentle closing note to a painful chapter in her life. Michelle Dockery's net worth is estimated to be around $4 million, largely stemming from the success of Downton Abbey and other international television projects. But to her fans, her greatest value lies in her ability to act with elegance, calm strength, and heartbreaking authenticity. Hugh Bonneville as Robert Crawley, Earl of Grantham. Hugh Bonneville was born on November 10, 1963, in Paddington, London. When he took on the role of Robert Crawley, Earl of Grantham, in the hit television series Downton Abbey, 2010 to 2015, he was 47 years old. In the series, Crawley is the head of the Grantham family, a model father yet a traditionalist, constantly torn between old values and modern times. Hugh subtly conveyed the quiet decline of the aristocracy through a gaze full of concern and a calm, dignified manner. As of 2025, Hugh Bonneville is 62 years old. He remains active in the arts, participating in various television and film projects with humanistic themes, and is also a familiar face in charitable programs across the UK. His current net worth is estimated at around $8 million, mostly earned through more than 3 decades of acting in both film and television, with the role of the Earl of Grantham being the pinnacle that brought him global recognition and admiration. Before achieving the fame he enjoys today, Hugh endured years of struggle in theater and minor television roles. He studied at Oxford and then trained in acting at the Webber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Art. In the early years of his career, Hugh primarily performed in Shakespearean plays and made brief appearances on TV. It wasn't until his role in Notting Hill, 1999, that he began to draw public attention. However, it was Downton Abbey that finally established him as one of the finest actors in British television, showcasing his ability to embody a character that was both strong and deeply wounded by the changing times. Despite being a famous star, Hugh's personal life is discreet and peaceful. He has been married to Lucinda Lulu Evans since 1998, has 1 son, and lives in the serene countryside of West Sussex. Hugh once shared that the COVID-19 pandemic left him feeling disoriented and mildly depressed, as artistic plans were halted and the entertainment industry came to a standstill. Yet he, like his character Robert Crawley, remained resilient, composed, and unwilling to be defeated by adversity. When Downton Abbey, A New Era, was released in 2022, Hugh returned with eyes full of experience, portraying a gentleman who had stumbled but never lost his dignity, Jim Carter, as Charles Carson. Jim Carter was born on August 19, 1948, in Harrogate, Yorkshire, England. When he was 62 years old, he officially stepped into the hearts of global audiences through his role as Charles Carson, the principled, loyal, and deeply compassionate butler in the iconic series Downton Abbey, 2010 to 2015. With his deep, warm voice and stern yet kind eyes, Jim made Charles Carson a symbol of loyalty in a fading era. As of 2025, Jim Carter is 77 years old. He still makes occasional appearances on television and stage, but he spends most of his time enjoying life with his longtime wife, actress Imelda Staunton, best known for playing Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter. The couple married in 1983 and have 1 daughter, Bessie Carter, who is also an actress. With a net worth estimated at around $4 million, Jim lives a quiet life, avoiding the spotlight. and often participates in charity work focused on arts education and elder health care in the UK. Before Downton Abbey, Jim Carter had a decades-long career, primarily in theater and supporting film roles. He appeared in Shakespeare in Love, 1998, and The Madness of King George, 1994. But it wasn't until he donned Carson's butler uniform that his name truly soared. During filming, he formed close bonds with the cast and was admired for his humorous and easygoing nature, an amusing contrast to the stern Carson. In 2016, Jim received an Emmy nomination for this role, proving that sometimes the greatest roles of one's life come when youth has long passed. Jim Carter's personal life has been relatively calm, but he has faced the challenges of aging. In a 2021 interview, he revealed undergoing knee surgery after years of quiet pain he endured from heavy physical work in his youth. He also spoke of the loneliness felt by older artists who are often forgotten by the modern entertainment industry. Nonetheless, to him, playing Charles Carson was the greatest gift, one that continues to leave a lasting impression on viewers. Phyllis Logan as Elsie Hughes. Phyllis Logan was born on January 11, 1956, in the town of Paisley, Scotland. When she was 54 years old, she began portraying housekeeper Elsie Hughes in the celebrated series Downton Abbey, 2010 to 2015. Her character led the female staff with a firm but empathetic hand, constantly balancing between discipline and kindness in the downstairs world of Grantham House. It was this role that made Phyllis Logan a familiar name to millions of viewers around the world, turning her into an emblem of aristocratic British service. As of 2025, Phyllis Logan is 69 years old and still actively working in the arts. She has taken part in several notable TV projects such as Guilt, The Good Karma Hospital, and Shetland, with her recent role as Grace Bain further solidifying her reputation as a veteran actress. With a net worth estimated at around $3 million, she lives a quiet life with her husband, actor Kevin McNally, and their son in London. But life hasn't always been peaceful. In the early years of her career, Logan suffered emotional collapse after her mother's death from cancer, a loss that drove her to bury herself in work as a way to cope. Her role in Another Time, Another Place, 1983, in which she played a Scottish woman in love with a German POW during World War II, not only won her a prestigious BAFTA award, but also served as a cathartic release of her suppressed grief. From then on, she continued diving into roles with emotional depth and humanity, as if using art to heal herself. She married later in life, after many years of dating fellow actor Kevin McNally. Their marriage has been closely tied to the world of theater and film, but not without its own struggles. At one point, she paused her career to care for McNally, who experienced mild depression after a car accident in 2006. Still, the two remained steadfast together, overcoming each hardship side by side. That is why, even nearing 70, she continues to accept roles, not for money, but for her enduring love of the craft. Joanne Froggatt as Anna Bates. Joanne Froggatt was born on August 23, 1980, in North Yorkshire, England. She rose to global fame when she took on the role of Anna Bates, the loyal yet tragic maid in Downton Abbey, from 2010 to 2015, when she was 30 years old. Her portrayal of Anna Bates not only moved audiences with the character's resilience and devotion, but also left a deep emotional impact on viewers. Today, Joanne Froggatt is 44 years old and continues to thrive in her acting career with notable projects such as Liar, Sherwood, and North Shore. She is considered one of the UK's most respected actresses, thanks not only to her outstanding performances, but also to her bold and thoughtful choice of roles. With an estimated net worth of about $2 million, Joanne maintains a strong position in the entertainment industry and also serves as an ambassador for humanitarian campaigns, reflecting her commitment to community values. Joanne's life has not been without its share of ups and downs. She married James Cannon in 2012, but after 8 years together, the couple divorced in 2020. The separation marked a significant turning point in her life, yet Joanne remained professional in her work. Additionally, the emotionally intense roles she has taken on, particularly the violent and psychologically demanding scenes in Downton Abbey, once took a mental toll on her. However, those experiences also helped her grow and evolve in her craft. She is also known for her work in films such as In Our Name, a role that earned her the British Independent Film Award for Most Promising Newcomer, as well as performances in crime adaptations based on real events, like Danielle Cable, Eyewitness, and See No Evil, The Moors Murders. These roles, often requiring emotional bravery and psychological depth, have revealed Joanne's intense dedication and talent, making her one of the most respected dramatic actresses among both critics and audiences. Brendan Coyle as John Bates. Brendan Coyle was born on December 2, 1962, in Corby, Northamptonshire, England. In 2010, when he was 48 years old, he rose to global fame through his role as John Bates, the loyal and composed valet, in the internationally acclaimed period drama Downton Abbey. This role not only earned him an Emmy nomination, but also made a lasting impression on viewers with his portrayal of a quiet, honorable man burdened by a complicated and mysterious past. Now 62 years old, Brendan Coyle continues his artistic pursuits between London and Norfolk. He splits his time between stage and screen, and occasionally writes scripts. With an estimated net worth of around $3 million, he remains a respected figure in the arts, not just for his acting abilities, but also for his efforts to overcome personal hardships. Indeed, Brendan Coyle once battled alcoholism. In 2011, he was arrested for driving under the influence, an incident that dealt a serious blow to his public image. However, it became a turning point in his life. Determined to change, he entered recovery and worked to regain balance. His candidness in discussing his past mistakes earned admiration from fans who respected his courage to face the truth. Before achieving widespread fame, Brendan Coyle had already earned critical acclaim. He won the Olivier Award for his role in The Weir, 1999, and when the play moved to Broadway, he received the New York Critics Theatre World Award. He also made a strong impression in the drama North and South, playing Nicholas Higgins. Through these performances, Brendan established himself as an actor who may not chase the spotlight, but whose persistence and quiet strength reflect the very qualities of John Bates himself. The lives and careers of the Downton Abbey cast have left a powerful legacy not only on screen, but also in the hearts of viewers. Their personal tragedies and premature losses make us cherish even more the moments they brought to life before the camera. What do you think of these emotional stories? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to follow for more untold secrets about your favorite stars.